Hello, my name is Felix Mejia, and I'm a Partner Engineering Manager here at Roku. Today, I'm happy to present the SceneGraph panel for this year's Developer Summit. For our agenda, we'll talk about the current OS release for 13.0 and the new BrightScript APIs and media player updates. Next, we'll talk about the upcoming Roku OS release this fall regarding new SceneGraph APIs. Additionally, we'll present a new feature called MultiView and finish off with some Q&A. I'd like to remind everyone that we have a forum to post questions during the panel by following the QR code or visiting the link listed here, and we'll answer these questions at the end. So Roku OS 13. So we have a couple new APIs that are present in the current OS 13 with RO app memory monitor with the get channel memory limit API, which returns how much foreground and background memory the app may use and the maximum amount of memory that the Roku OS may allocate on behalf of the app. And additionally, this would help debug channels with that are hitting low memory states here. So the RO App Manager gets a new API called Get Last Exit Info, which returns an exit code indicating why the app was terminated. Keep in mind that the last exit information is provided to only the 10 most recent exits across all channels, and the exit information does not persist across device reboots. We have a new API for the RO device info, which is that is autoplay enabled, which checks whether autoplay is enabled on the device. This lets developers ensure that the apps respect the device setting when customers browse content in their app. And this is a certification requirement that is being mandated as of October 1st. So this will help out with that. And for the RO remote info, the has feature has a new has mute switch parameter, which enables developers to check whether the Roku remote control includes a hands-free voice switch. In regards to media player updates, developers can now use this new content classifier content metadata attribute to specify the genre of their content. And the Roku OS will use this attribute to automatically adjust the sound and picture on all Roku TVs if the auto mode is selected for the picture or sound settings. And for the accessibility information for audio and subtitle tracks, the available audio tracks and available subtitle tracks for the video node now include a new key value pair that provide accessibility information for audio and subtitle tracks. This helps developers identify whether a given track is an audio description track or not. And the video node now has a new seamless audio track selection field that enables apps to continuously play video content when the audio track is switched, provided that the audio format remains the same, such as going from EAC3 to EAC3 audio. When the audio track is changed, this gives developers the choice to either pause the video for approximately 1 second, which is the current default behavior, or continue video playback. This feature is only supported for HLS at this time. And then moving on to our upcoming 14.0 Roku OS, we have these new SceneGraph APIs, the monospace text label node, or excuse me, the SceneGraph includes a new monospace label node that developers can use to draw a single line of text with all characters spaced at a fixed distance from each other. This provides an alternative to using a monospace font with the label node. And the label-based node includes a new monospace digits field that enables the rendering of tabular digits in overhang time values and countdowns. And with that, I'll pass it off to a fellow partner engineer, Christian Locke, to present a new feature coming to Roku.
Thank you for the intro, Felix. My name is Christian Locke. I'm here on the partner engineering team at Roku. I'm really excited to announce a new feature that we have coming to you soon called MultiView. MultiView is a new feature that's coming out on Roku, and you can design essentially your UX on your app with multiple streams. So it'll essentially support the playback of multiple video and audio streams at the same time. This is specific across select set-top boxes and TVs. The new component that's releasing with this is the row multi-decode component, which uses hardware decoding, time slicing for multiple streams to have a simultaneous playback experience on your app. You can see in the picture to the right here, this is sort of what it will look like. And it's essentially a new way to stream video to your audience. You can essentially configure video in a picture-in-picture format or a multi-view format, which is also demonstrated on this picture here to the right. So MultiView will essentially be coming out in Q4. It's launching with the release of Brewster, and it'll also be available on Bailey and Logan, as well as some select TVs that we have coming out. And here's a demo that we have to show how MultiView works. And if you have any questions, I know we went over the QR code in the beginning of the presentation, but if you didn't have a chance to scan this and submit your questions, please scan and submit them now. We'll answer everything in the panel afterwards. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great 2024 Developer Summit.
Awesome. What a great presentation. Thank you so much, Felix and Christian. So here we are. This is it. We made it. This is the last Q&A session of the 2024 Roku Developer Summit. And we've got some great questions, several related to the multi-view announcement. So without any further ado, let's get to it. With the recent multi-view announcement, how do you see this feature changing the way we design SceneGraph interfaces?
Sure. Yeah. I think that's up to the creativity of the developer, honestly. I think it offers a great way to expand how you want to serve your media content to your audience, and we're excited to see how you guys serve that. It could be a way to view also just I know like live sports and everything. Like if you're streaming multiple things, that's just a great way to have split content on your screen. It just makes it a very interesting way to serve all your content.
Cool.
We've also documented the way you'd interact with the Roku OS because part of it, multi-view, is handling the star button and how our sliding panel can have let the user select different views and that sort of thing. But Christian's absolutely right that there's a lot of freedom to design your own interface as well, but just follow our guidance in our documentation on that.
All right. So which devices will support or do support multi-view?
So right now, it will be supported on release with Brewster, as well as it'll be supported on Bailey and Logan platforms, and then select TVs that you'll hear from us in the future.
All right. Can you discuss any upcoming improvements to SceneGraph's debugging and profiling tools? That actually would have been we had our developer tools session earlier this morning. And so Andrew, I would invite you to go check out a replay of that, which will be posted shortly. And I don't know if you guys have anything else to add on. Kevin, if you have anything else you want to add on.
No, I think that's the best advice.
Will multi-view only work with certain protocols, HLS or Dash? What about DRM?
It will work with whatever is available in our media player today. Also, like you can use HLS Dash, however you want to serve it, as well as DRM, as long as your DRM is consistent across your streams.
Excellent. Are there plans to enhance SceneGraph's animation capabilities?
There are no immediate plans to do so, but um, we're definitely taking feature requests if you have an idea of what you'd like there.
Yep. So Sam will definitely, developer Slack, put in your feature request there in the feature request channel, and we'll get that forwarded to the team. Besides the two new SceneGraph components, any updates coming to existing SceneGraph components? For example, improvements or new features to the row list grid components?
Well, again, nothing to share at this time, but we're always motivated to have developers use our built-in components versus designing their own. It generally makes for much better performance. So if there was something where, hey, I would use a row list if it just supported this, we'd like to know what this is.
Sure. Right. Can we please get 9-patch support for the mass group component? Stephen is asking. This is the third year in a row asking. I have to commend you, Stephen, on your persistence.
Well, noted. Stephen, it'd be useful to know what you would use it for to
Yeah.
maybe raise the priority.
Yeah, Stephen, in the developer Slack, in the feature request, please put that in there. Just list out your use cases. That would help, help with sort of the prioritization of the request. Okay. Will there be a way to sync live streams with a wall clock timestamp or something similar?
I'm assuming is this in the case of MultiView?
I don't have the context. Oscar, maybe you can go ahead and provide more context in your question and re-ask it, and we'll come back to it.
I
Uh,
believe there is a UTC timing attribute, at least for Dash, but I don't remember if there is any sort of other attribute that would be used for HLS or whatnot. But yeah, we could revisit that and get clarity there.
Okay. Next question. With MultiView support, we'll be able to create multiple video node instances.
No, so you'll have your own actual multi-view component that you'll be going through. You can definitely manipulate those player paths and use that to I guess create your own implementation of how you want to serve those different videos and those different players inside your app. But it'll be just
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Sync.
actually, we do support multiple video nodes in the
Oh,
multi-view case. So
yeah.
there'll be a video node for every decoder, basically. And Christian's right about the having the different paths um, to set that up.
Okay.
But yeah, so we used to in the single player case, we always just had one active video node, right? You were always able to create multiple video nodes, but only one was ever active and playing. And now there can be multiple in multi-view, multiple video nodes in the state of playing.
More multi-view questions coming. How many streams can multi-view play at once? I think actually I'll go, with the multi-view you can either do single picture in picture or up to 4. So,
4 on select devices. So that'd
like,
be Brewster,
right.
and then select TVs in the future. But on Bailey and Logan, it'll be 2.
Okay. Is Roku planning to implement common media client data, which helps us understand how to optimize the CDN delivery?
I know there were discussions internally regarding this, but I actually probably would want to get it in contact with them just to see kind of what exactly they're trying to implement in general. I think there is some portions of it that we might be able to support, but we'll need to get some more details there. So.
Yeah, so Harindra, please provide more context in the Roku developer Slack in the feature request channel so we can give that over to the SceneGraph team. Thanks. Any plans for improvements to the Bright script language itself?
Well, nothing to share at this time. We do keep track of, you know, what's happening there in the developer community, and we noticed a lot of people like the developer experience of Brighter Script, and we're keeping tabs on that.
And once again, Vitali, like it sounds like a broken record, but if there's something specific you're looking for, please put that in the feature request channel in the Roku developer Slack. When can we expect support for timed metadata / ID3 EMSG v1?
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead, Felix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe we support it to some extent there. So that you can provide some ID3 tags in your streams, and we would be able to parse that info out. But yeah, we could discuss that afterwards, how to specifically do that. So
Will we be getting a true ternary operator anytime soon?
It's kind of a repeat of the previous question. Yeah, it's we're not really adding extra language support things in the immediate future, but we are keeping tabs on the most requested items. And I've seen lots of code out there that people have implemented their own ternaries, but um, yeah.
Any updates on support for draw 2D with SceneGraph and add primitives like triangles and polygons? Also, Marcelo points out another multi-year request.
Is that support games, Marcelo? I'd be interested in the use case.
Yeah, Marcelo, if you want to go back and submit your question and provide the context, we can come back to it. All right, Alexander asks, any strategies do you recommend for optimizing load times and memory usage in SceneGraph applications?
Keep things small, and don't overload your content trees with data that they don't need. So you actually might want to go back and look at a webinar we did earlier in the spring, where we talk about best practices for building trees of content nodes and making sure that you're not passing too much data through rendezvous. And so I think all of that information would be pertinent to your question.
Excellent. Is there a way to handle or detect slower network connections to limit the multi-view capabilities when such a slow network is detected?
Um, I don't know if there's a specific way, unless I guess it would be the same way that you're currently doing it for single player video, monitoring, uh, and as well as just your streaming protocols for using lower bitrate variants. But you just go from there. I don't know if we have anything specific to track that for the multi-view component, if you know, Kevin.
No, we don't have anything specific. It'd be just the standard stats. So you could be looking if you're getting too many rebuffers on your lowest stream, then you could decide to not offer it.
Okay. Well, this is almost the next question's probably kind of could be similar. What strategies do you recommend for optimizing SceneGraph application load times?
Yeah, so by load time, a lot of times you might actually mean compile time. And so same, like don't have a lot of unexercised code in your channel. Minimize the number of actual Bright script source files that are in the channel. Um, some partners I've seen actually put little video files in their package to play in the channel. I would advise against that. Put those in the cloud and stream them on demand, things like that.
Can Roku post a list of parse time metadata tags in the docs? We understand not everything is parsed, but it'd be very helpful to know what is possible.
Well, I would say it's probably hard for us to keep that in sync. Currently, we basically started adding things as they were needed for particular use cases. Um, but we note that request, and I agree that we probably should document, and ideally we'd support everything, but it's just not practical.
Okay. I've made a note. Thank you, CDP, for that question. All right, Marcello's back with regarding back the draw 2D request. And yes, it is for games. Not having support for triangles and polygons limits the type of games graphics we can do. A SceneGraph integration would be great for the UX of the games.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I understand the request. We may have game things in the future that we'll announce, but not today.
All right. Any chance to have bitmap fonts in the future?
I think we could probably have that as a feature request potentially. So.
Yep. Once again, just go ahead and put that request in the feature request channel in the developer Slack. Are there any plans to having several images baked into one so far? Example animations support only one baked image instead of several images for optimization purposes.
That makes sense. Another good feature request.
Is async stop semantic support in the newest Roku OS version? I mean, I would say, Roku OS 14.0, if that's referring to all the newest features, most of them are related to fonts and stuff. That's already been posted. That was posted on Tuesday. I don't know if there's anything else to add as far as this.
Yeah, I'll probably actually need to look this one up myself. So
Yeah. Will the introduction of MultiView affect certification requirements for Roku channels?
Yeah, so we do have modified some upcoming things for certification requirements to address the use case of MultiView, and then you can probably assume that we'll probably have more future updates as well as it becomes a more consistent part of apps.
I would also add, I don't know if there's anything immediate, but stay tuned. The next cert update, it's coming out next week. It's scheduled to come out next week. So
Yeah, I think the only immediate one would essentially be around some behaviors around video focus, but that'll be coming up.
yeah. Okay. Roku provides add header functionality for HTTP agent URL transfer node, but not remove header. I am looking forward to this.
I don't I don't understand why you would need that. Just don't call add header and you won't have it.
Well, I suppose
or
in the case that you're reusing one UR or RO URL transfer for multiple requests, but want different headers. But I think there is a set header that will blow away everything and reset it. Not as easy as removing an individual header, but I think it can be done today.
Is there any chance of a fully supported WebSocket component in the near future?
Not in the near future.
Are there any plans for SceneGraph to support features like blurring effects or 3D transformations?
Well, I think the best case is to write up your use case and why it would be important and what you want in particular. I mean, there are some blurring effects today, so
Okay. In multi-view, will the players automatically limit the quality tier being used for the resolution that makes sense for the view size?
You will have a uh, you will have limitations based off of your. It'll be depending on how many multi-view players you have separated, depending on whether you're using 2 or 4 and everything. But you will have limitations on your decoder paths for the your maximum quality resolution.
Okay. Another multi-view question. Will there be a way to sync live streams using the UTC timing element in Dash or the EXT program date time tag in HLS? For example, can we watch the same game from different angles and sync it with the broadcaster's audio?
I don't think we have any specific uh, calls or functionality in our API that does that behavior specifically, but I'm sure you could achieve that behavior within your app with some additional code and things on your end.
Okay, Daniel, back with the async stop semantics. I think that this API was more so confirming that it's fixed in that version. We were told it was broken before, but fixed in the latest version. I think that we can probably just then look up, like I think Felix said, we should double check to make sure if it was fixed, that was included in this last release. If there's anything else to add.
Yeah, I think it's just for us to double check there.
Yeah. From Stephen, are there any new or planned features to allow for custom kerning letter spacing on labels? I'm hoping the new monospace label and updated label base are hinting at that possibility.
Yeah, I
no,
don't know if we have.
the different features. Yeah.
Okay. Are there plans to expand the Roku video node to give developers more control over the playback experience? For example, traversing up and down an ABR ladder in real time without a full reload, observing segments, manifest headers, and responses, controlling how a manifest is parsed, and so on.
Yeah. Well, in general, our strategy is to take care of that for you, right? So you use the Roku Media Player and it does the entire the player components entirely contained in Roku code. So it does all the bitrate selection and everything.
Is there a reason that on-key event is not allowed within screensavers? It prevents SceneGraph from being used, despite there being a real use case when the user opens the settings for screensavers.
Maybe I didn't quite understand the question, but it seems to me that pressing a key in a screensaver should dismiss the screensaver. So yeah, I think that would be the main reason we wouldn't want to support that. The user expects the screensaver to go away when they press a button.
Is it possible to have in the future scale -1 to have flipped images? So
I don't
in the
know off
future,
the top of my head, never tried it.
okay. Can we get remote ID in the on-key event? This would help us develop multiplayer games in SceneGraph and not be forced to use RO screen. Anyone?
Well, it's interesting, but no, it doesn't work that way currently.
Okay. All right. Guys, we still have a few more minutes left. You guys can get in your last few questions. We are going to wrap up. So from Justin, Chris mentioned that the file count impacts compile times. How does high file count compare with huge Brightscript files with read write compile load times? Should developers be biased towards one or the other?
As of now, yes, you should be biased toward a fewer number of larger files. We are actively working on improving that, but at the moment, the number of files has a bigger impact than the size of the files.
Excellent. On key, so Daniel's pointing out on key event can be used in a settings component that is called when run screensaver setting is called in main. So it's the use case for the screensaver, I think, for on key event.
Oh, I see. They were talking about the settings of the screensaver, not the screensaver itself. Yeah. That I don't know. I don't know why we don't allow that.
Okay. Cool. I think that concludes our session. Guys, thank you so much for helping us out with the panel today. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to end this, and then Gene will join us with the closing comments on the Dev Summit. Guys, thank you so much.
Hi, this is Gene Chorba. I'm the head of developer relations, and I'm coming to you from our production room with our first time trying to use this camera. Thank you so much for being part of this year's Developer Summit. We smashed a ton of goals that we had set for this event. We really were able to do some pretty amazing stuff on our end, and I hope it really resonated to you as the community. I especially want to give a shout out to the 5 panels we had from external developers and partners. And I want to say that we want to do that more. We want to do more of these external panels. We want to do more external developers getting involved with our events, be it webinars, be it the Developer Summit, be it other events that we'll probably do in the future. As it comes to the end of this, we got a ton of questions we weren't able to get to everything. We weren't able to answer everything. And we really, really want to try and give you answers. So if your question wasn't answered, we'll try and go through the Slido and we will mark which ones didn't get answered, and we'll try and put out either on Slack or on a blog post or somewhere answers to everything that we can. We can't answer every question for either PR or legal or various other product reasons, but we'll try and give at least some sort of acknowledgement that we did read the question or read what was happening. Otherwise, I just want to thank everybody again for participating in this and for being part of this amazing ecosystem. And please, to help us out, we'll be sending an after event survey. Please tell us what you did like, what you didn't like, and go out and buy the Roku Ultra as the one sales plug. But I hope everybody had a great time. Thank